IBS. As we all know, it's called irritable bowel syndrome. And it is irritable. For those of you who have suffered with it, you know exactly what I mean. It is not a nice symptom to encounter on a daily basis. It is painful. It is uncomfortable. It gives you severe stomach cramps, extreme, in some cases, extreme diarrhea. You can feel really, really bloated and really, really full. Usually it occurs after eating, and usually it feels better after you've had a poo. Funny that, eh? See how the two work together there? Food, number two, poo. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Basically your bowels is where you get the gist. Well, it affects about 10 to 15% of the population in the worldwide. Okay, that's pretty high numbers if you look at the statistics. Okay, it's not a pleasant occurrence to encounter. So what causes IBS? Well, there's a lot of foods that can trigger this. It's food basically, because it's part of your digestive system. It's the last ending of your digestive system. So the foods can be the main cause, and drink. Drink, you say? How can that be? Carbonated drinks, they can cause it. It triggers it off. Not very pleasant. Other foods that can cause this: wheat. What a lot of you will discover with your blood type nutrition plan is there is many of you amongst the 4 blood types that suffer with a wheat intolerance, and it can cause that IBS. Not nice. Other foods would be dairy, citrus fruits, beans. Beans, you say? That's right, beans. There's many types of beans, and depending on your blood type will depend on which beans will cause IBS. Cabbage, milk. Yes, that's right, I said dairy and I said milk. Being the case of dairy can be all types of cheeses, yogurts, etc. Yeah? And then there's milk. But one of the milks that won't affect it is the likes of coconut or almond milk. So yeah, and carbonated drinks. So stay away from your fizzy drinks, guys. If you suffer with IBS, that's just one to eliminate. Another factor is stress, which a lot of you occur on a daily basis. When you suffer with high intense periods of stress, you can suffer with IBS as well. Chill out, guys. Okay, not quite as simple as that, I know. But stress can be a very high factor to cause an IBS. Also, fried and fatty foods. Now, as there's a million of you out there that love your fry-ups, that love your high fatty foods, your chippies, your Chineses, but these are all foods that can cause IBS. These are all trigger foods, okay? So these are ones to keep an eye on. So how can you relieve IBS? Notice I said relieve, because you don't know when it's going to be caused, you don't know when it's going to occur, you don't know what food has happened to cause that or trigger that IBS. You've just suffered the symptoms: stomach cramps, bloating, full and swollen stomachs, diarrhea, constipation. So after you suffered these, you've gone, what's this? What's happening to me? And you don't, most people won't register it's the food that you've just eaten. So what can relieve IBS? It's real simple, this one, guys. Fresh foods. Very simple. Homemade foods. Not using any of these rubbish processed high fatty foods. Okay? Now, to find out exactly what foods can cause this, why not keep a diary of what you've eaten on a daily basis? Just do it for a week or two. And then you'll record what meal you've eaten last to when the IBS kicked in. It's not there all day, every day. It usually occurs after you've eaten a meal. And then relieved once you've had a poo. What else can you do? Exercise. Yes, that's right. Moderate exercise, 20-30 minutes a day. That's going to help relieve it. What else? Some, not all, but some probiotics can help relieve it. But also there are some probiotics that can cause it. I'm sure a lot of you have seen in the supermarkets those little lovely bottles of probiotics. What are they made of? Usually dairy. Stay away from. They've got about as much probiotics in them as the label has. So if you're going to use probiotics, get the tablet form from a good health store. Okay? Now, that's just some of the ways you can relieve it. So the best one that you can come up with is when you're on your blood type nutrition plan, follow the plan to the letter and eat the foods that are beneficial to you and stay away from the foods that are detrimental to you. You'll find it in your lists that I've implemented out to you. Okay? What happens if IBS is left untreated or taken care of? Okay? What can happen? Well, if the condition keeps continuing, this is where it gets really quite unpleasant. It can start to cause hemorrhoids. You'll start noticing blood in your stools. I don't know about you, I don't fancy that, do you? Also, you're going to encounter a lot of mood disorders. A lot of you are wondering why you're so irritable and why you're so grumpy. Think about what you've been eating. Think about that IBS, that discomfort that you're encountering day in, day out, after the same foods you keep eating. And you're also going to encounter a poor quality of life. Now, I don't know about you, but I've got kids. I want to enjoy my life with them. I don't want to be a grumpy, moody old man. I want to enjoy the quality of life with my kids. And I'm sure you do too. To help relieve IBS that a lot of you encounter, clean up your nutrition plan, eat healthy foods, follow your blood type diet, and watch those horrible symptoms disappear. It's as simple as that, guys.